things the right way, or there's some other parameters that they have to?
At the end of that, at the end of any project,
Yeah.
landfill design and construction activities, we, in the permit, we require what's called a construction certification document that comes into us in the review. So what that is they have to hire a contractor, somebody to verify that everything was built as what we approved. And then they put their stamp on it and send it in to us. So that'll be the CQ quality assurance, we know what we're looking at, CQ items.
And it's important to them too. I mean, they're buying the landfill liner fabric from a manufacturer who has a warranty on it. And they have a company, somebody's sealing, making the seal, the same thing with the closure turf, it has a warranty. So they have their own interest in making sure that this all happens correctly. And they'll be inspecting this as they go along to make sure that they got what they paid for with all the different materials. I mean, Casella, but all landfill operators are really meticulous about this stuff. There's a lot of money that it costs, so they want to make sure that they're protected.
Is this going to be, I know right now they're allowed to operate from 7 in the morning. What are the hours of operation going to be allowed to do while they're doing all of this project? 7 to 5?
7 to 5. So the current permit allows them to accept waste, to operate 7 to 5,
Okay.
Monday through Friday, and 7 to 12 on Saturdays.
Okay.
So the 7 to 5 is what we're going to allow during the construction.
Okay.
Monday through Friday.
You've been patient.
I'm sorry.
Glen Severance, 91 H foot. Why the peeling of the liner that's there in the first place? Why can't you just line over that and then we wouldn't have this issue?
Good question. It's because the liner isn't suitable. When you put the first liner down, it needs to adhere to something. So if you put this, it'll be too slippery from a non-technical way. It's a coefficient of friction. It's a slippery. So if you put this engineered system on top of that tarp, it will slide. So we need to peel that off.
So you would take that off and then put that in the landfill.
They are going to dispose of that. The tarp is going to be disposed of in the landfill. Yeah.
Does CAD 2 include a post-closure monitoring well program?
Absolutely.
And when do you anticipate that coming in? And will it have a 21-day comment period?
It will,
CAD 2.
yeah.
That'll
Pretty
have-
much every permit for this landfill we've issued as a provisional permit. It's not required, but we want to make sure people have the opportunity to comment. So CAD 2, when it's prepared, will be issued provisional, and not 20-day public comment period. The post-closure monitoring for the minimum 30-year period is outlined in the regs. It's very specific about what they have to do, both for groundwater and landfill gas over the 30-year post-closure period.
And in our situation where there's potential for 10 Schoolhouse, Hill Road, Sawmill Circle to be affected by migrating contaminants over a 30-plus year period, can you mandate that monitoring wells be installed in those areas, since they're claiming the water flows that way?
So, as I've said many times, we start here and we go out. We don't start out and come in. Part of what these guys are negotiating with Casella right now is the extent of additional monitoring, not post-closure, but monitoring right now that we want to have happen before we go further with CAD 2. So we still think there needs to be more monitoring done, especially to, is it the north? Are we talking about the north?
Towards the north, yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been talking about the north? I wasn't at that last
North
meeting.
and west.
North and west.
We're in the process. We're being helped out by our waste site cleanup folks who are more adept at the groundwater issues. And they've looked at their proposal and we're gonna get it back to them. But the idea is you gotta keep chasing the waste. So we go, we find it, we go, so we don't just stop arbitrarily. So that's all in process right now.
So we're trying to get that, because you can't really have an effective corrective action design unless you know what you're correcting. So we're trying to establish that in the next year going forward with these additional monitoring wells. And are we done surface water, or are we still doing surface water?
We're still doing
Still, and surface water as well.
Is this permit held by Casella and the town of Southbridge? So
Yes.
they're both signing off on it.
Yes.
Have they, one more question. They put out the date of December, the end of December for the actual closing. Are they working with you on that closing? Is that a arbitrary date that they have, just that they've said, or they, in their documents with you, that they have been using?
Well, they control it by the amount
And
of
they
waste they take in every day.
Mhm.
So I don't know from day to day what their intention is. They have to notify us 6 months in advance of stopping.
And they've done that? No. They have not given you notice that they're closing the landfill in
They're
December?
stopped accepting waste. We need 6 months' notice when their final load of waste is coming. We haven't received that yet, so it's more
That
than
would
6
be
months.
July.
I mean, they're well aware of the, so they're more than 6 months out still.
Okay, thank you.
And Jim keeps track of how much they have left. That's part of what we do, we get reports, so we have a pretty good sense of how much capacity is left.
Do you have a sense of time, if they were continuing to take at the same rate that they're taking now, how long the landfill would be open?
Yeah, sometime in the fourth
They-
quarter.
yeah, fall.
This year, within 12 months?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely.
this year.
I know we're talking about the closure and not the landfill.
That's 2 times.
I've got a question about the water line I've been meaning to ask. As part of the water line, are they going to be putting in fire plugs?
Oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't, I always meant to ask the question and I
Yeah,
always
well, we
forget.
That's
talked
something to put on my
about it
mind,
so much. Robin, do you
Fire-
remember? we
fire
talked
what?
The bid
Hydrants.
opening
Yeah.
just happened, so I think they have the drawings already, so you can go to the Board of Health and talk
Okay.
with them. I think they should be
Yeah, I
able to
mean,
help
there
you
was-
with that. I
there
know
was
they
a
went to
lot
the
of
bid opening.
conversation about the amount of water that was gonna be drawn.
Mhm.
And that's why we needed a certain critical mass of homes to sign up, so there would be enough water drawn, and part of that, you know, if there wasn't enough water, there wouldn't be any, you couldn't have hydrants.
Okay.
There wouldn't be enough
Is that a
water.
question for the hydrants?
It was.
They
but
are gonna be, because from my house, it's gonna be a hydrant.
There is,
There's
okay,
gonna
so
be-
yeah. so
And
I
which
just
hou- which
couldn't
house is
remember
He's on Eleanor.
Oh, okay.
how- I couldn't remember how that.
Hopefully there'll be one on.
Yeah.
One, there's gonna be more than one of them.
Yeah, there's a
We-
number, the plans that they showed us when we came down, there's a number, there's one right across from us.
Okay,
And I think there's also another one right across from you. There's a number of them up the street.
Okay.
If you look at the plans on John's website, they're shown all
Okay, good.
throughout the whole.
Then they're there, because that, nothing's been removed, because I would have heard of that.
If they're gonna accept waste until December, does this mean that they have to wait then to cap the rest of that next spring too, so we're dealing with this next summer also? Or are they gonna start capping as soon as they're done in December, so that when the warm weather gets here, we're not getting drifts of 2 years in a row?
Well, as Mary Jude said, so to cap the remaining portion of landfill, we're in the process of right now talking with them about this investigation, it's called a comprehensive site assessment. And, they did it years ago, 15, 17 years ago. Part of the closure, final closure, they have to update that information. So they're in the process of doing that now. When we get all that information, then we get this CAD 2, the corrective action design 2. We need to know what we're dealing with before we approve a design for the CAD.
They can't start until they have a permit, and they can't get a permit until they're done with this investigation.
Right, so realistically, we're gonna go through it this summer, and then we're gonna go through it again.
Well, they're not,
Next summer.
the rest of the closure is not gonna be peeling back anything. This is just that gray area that's not, it's not pink and it's not brown, it's just this, you know, this area that was never fully covered.
Right, so we're gonna
So
close
it's,
off
this
the
is
rest.
this is the, there's no more peeling, this is the only peeling, this project.
Okay.
This is all already covered, and then they have to build the cake on top of it.
You shouldn't have any odors in CAD 2. There shouldn't be any odors. I think the issue would be noise. We have construction activities on top of that landfill, so there will be noise, but there should not be.
Right, okay, I didn't know.
And
if
it'll
they
be
were
moving
also gonna-
away toward the other side.
Right, they're only peeling back this section
Just
because
the-
of the issue that they have.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Melissa Whiting, 89 foot. I'm just curious, what is the closure turf made of? I know you said it wasn't akin to,
Polyethylene,
okay,
plastic, trying to, the only comparison I can give you is not apples to apples, is like astroturf. If you have a ball field,
Mhm.
football field, it's
Right.
that type of, different, but that type of material.
We should bring up that piece.
We should.
You know, I should have, I have
We actually have
a marketing piece from them, a little piece, but it's a polyethylene.
You could probably contact Tracy and she could get you a piece of it.
Yeah, and it's
Right,
preferred,
compound.
we've had a number of proposals, because you don't have to mow it, you don't have to worry about tree roots encroaching on a cap, and there's a lot of maintenance that comes with a landfill cap. And this is, you know, sort of the new thing that's come on the market.
I'm just more thinking about if there was anything harmful in that liner itself that would be harmful down the road to the environment, to our families, to.
Yeah. We've seen our
We've done, you
investigation.
know, aside from the literature, I've called other state agents, other states that have, I've talked to my counterparts in, Pennsylvania and so on, and I'm not hearing anything along those lines.
Well, how long has this material been, you talked about the two in the state, how, and those other counterparts, how long has that material been used in other states?
On municipal solid waste landfills, 8 years.
Okay. So already right now, we just have an 8-year history of the use of that material. Okay.
So the two other permits in this state have been written the same way that this permit is, which is, if it fails, you have to put an attrition cap on it. So it's not,
And that's within that 30-year period you're talking about?
the 30 years of minimum period, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty long. Did I cut you off?
No, you did not come here. I'm gonna help, thank you.
So you know, you have to sit, you have to think about all this. You can send official written comments to Jim, and the permitter will say, your comments to Jim Clayton's email address and everything, and those will become part of the record, the official record for this permit. But if you have other questions, I mean, John knows how to get in touch with me, so you know how to get in touch with me, so you know, you can email me, we'll get you the answers back. I think the best thing is gonna be you can read the permit when it comes out in the next, probably the end of the week. And then, you know, what does this mean, what does that mean? We really wanted to just focus on the odors, a little bit of the noise, you know, the nuisance thing, the things that you're gonna notice. If you have questions about the closure turf, if you have any questions about all the engineering stuff in there, you can definitely contact us.
So from what was just said about the closure turf, any failure over its lifetime, and they have to put on a permanent cap, the soil cap?
It's gonna be a major failure. So the system does allow for repairs, if
Okay.
you will. You know, there will be settlement, like on the Southbridge landfill, it settles. So if you think of a floor, there's the top of the landfill, and there's a settlement. Every landfill does settle, not just the Southbridge landfill, it's just that waste decomposes, and as it decomposes, that's the gas generation, but, you know, this settlement. So what we'll be doing our inspections, you know, now, typically after the winter months, when we do our inspections, we see a little bit of settling, and what typically happens is they will repair it with soil, and, you know, put more soil down and make sure, because we're trying to promote drainage, so you don't want any ponding, so they put some soil, patch it up, some grass, and that's the maintenance thing. So with closure turf, if there's a settlement, it's designed that it could be cut, you know, patched and then resealed. The replacement, the entire replacement will have to, you know, it's at our discretion. It will have to be a pretty significant failure for us to require that.
And would that be part of the FAM to pay for that?
As Mary Jo explained, the FAM, the financial assurance mechanism, the way it's written, is that they'll have to put aside, if you will, develop a bonding mechanism that will pay for the removal of the closure turf and the design and construction of a traditional cover system.
And how many years do you usually require that for, the FAM, that they have to hold up?
Well, right now, the FAM is, the post-closure FAMs are the 30-year period. And that's typically what it is. And these, we're talking about making them longer.
That would be in the CAD 2?
What did you
The FAM itself, the way the regulations are worded is every solid waste facility, landfills, transfer stations, municipal waste collectors, have to have a financial assurance mechanism in the event that, they close down or whatever should happen. The regulations require the solid waste facilities to update that financial assurance mechanism every year and then send to us every 2 years the updated version. We review and approve those updates. So this will go on, there's no termination on the FAM, it just goes on.
But when it's established, it'll be in CAD 2, how it's starting off with the,
There'll be a FAM requirement for the eastern side slope as well.
Okay.
And yes, and then there'll be another one for the CAD 2.
I think you alluded to a traditional type cover is a variety of layers, and you said mowing, so I assume that means grass.
Yeah.
This closure turf, what makes that better than putting grass, grass, multiple stuff, and then grass up there? What makes that better? Because I'm thinking if that's what it is, and would I be incorrect in saying that it's more porous, so water would run through and wash stuff out from underneath it?
Let me qualify, I'm not promoting closure turf.
No, okay.
Uh,
No.
I think you were, I just wanted everybody to know, it's not myself,
Okay,
or
yeah.
DEP is, we asked Casella to do this, it's somebody that came to us with. The marketing materials, the literature that I've read promotes closure turf for its low maintenance attributes. And I mentioned mowing, theoretically, it's UV resistance, ultraviolet resistance, sun resistance, but again, it's only been used for less than 10 years,
Mhm.
whether or not that's the case in 30, 50 years, I don't know.
Trees.
And so, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
part of the
it's-
reason they market it is that you have to also have a FAM for operation and maintenance. And in, 30 or 40 years of mowing and maintenance, it's high. And so
Mhm.
what the manufacturer says is this will decrease that expenditure for you. So that's how they're selling it.
But that,
Part of
I don't think I got to answer the question. Is it more porous, that the rainwater can go through and stuff can wash away underneath it?
No, that's what Jim was talking about, the benching, it comes off, the water
Okay,
comes
yeah.
off faster.
But it's not porous, so we have design standards in our regulations,
Mhm.
hydraulic conductivities,
Yeah.
10 and stuff, but there is a porosity factor that we look at. So this system, the closure turf system, is as good or even better in terms of porosity. It's not porous.
Okay.
Water can't get through it.
Okay, thank you.
So basically, a year or two is going to be AstroTurf Mountain, if you think about it. Is there discussion of what else is going to be used for in the future? Is there discussion to start talking about solar farms or something, that we're not just going to look at this big AstroTurf mountain?
We,
They haven't told us.
they haven't told us, as a matter of fact, in an informal conversation, my sense is they have no desire to repulse closure. They would prefer just to close the landfill and move on.
So then it would be up to the town of Southbridge, whether they have any post-closure use for it, but right now, I mean, back when they were talking about building the big berms around, there was some talk, part of those berms might have had some solar on them. That's the last we heard about any kind of solar as part of the project.
If they wanted to put a solar farm up there, does the DEP have any say over that?
They have to get a permit, they have to get
They
a
have to get a
post-closure
permit.
use permit.
Because based
Jim's
on
found
the,
lots and lots of solar.
based on the
farms.
brochure from Closure Turf,
Yeah.
the level, they kind of push towards solar development as part of why they say use our product.
Yeah, and it might be, because there's.
Could be, could not be.
Not to go too far down the road, there's all kinds of issues that come up with solar, with, so if you ever drive on 146 and you see the Greenwood Street, the old Greenwood Street landfill has the largest solar array, 8 megawatt solar array, it's the largest municipal solar array on landfill in the state. And Jim worked really, really hard on that. There's an issue up there with a protected species, a sparrow, and when you put them up there and you disturb the grass, you know, things
Mhm.
that things nest in, there are all kinds of permitting issues that go along with that. If you have closure turf,
It goes away.
you don't have those kind of issues. So there are a lot of other things that kick in when you have habitat, but it's still, it's either green from grass or green from closure turf. You still got to have a nice green.
Yeah, with
Mound.
natural to, you know,
With
to an
no-
astroturf mountain.
With no, you never have trees growing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it were not the turf, you can't have trees.
Mhm.
It's got to, you have to maintain the integrity of the cap. So it's always going to be a mound.
So if you guys just Google close your turf, it'll come up and you can read about it at home.
I appreciate you coming out to listen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, it's gonna go quickly and with a minimum disruption, and then at the end of the day, we're gonna be done talking about borders off that side slope. So that's our intention. Let us know, keep in touch, any of us, like I said, you guys know how to find us.
And if I can say before you leave, thank you again.
Yes.
We really owe DEP a lot for that water line that got in. Mary Jude was part of negotiating that and getting that in to get public water, so thank you very much.
Thank you.